It's MrConectr, and let's do the market intelligence report. Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. We've got Trump saying he's holding off on fresh strikes on Iran, subject to a deal being made rapidly. This is a pause, not a settlement. Risk assets get air. Oil and shipping risks stay live until the ink is dry, says the intel report. We've got continued Israeli strikes inside Gaza. We've got a Moscow restaurant bombing by terrorists. We've got We've got Ukrainian drones hit targets inside Russia. Multi-noise front keeps the macro risk premium. We've got Brent oil up to $87.93 a barrel. Strongest monthly climb since March in the Middle East supply fear. OPEC was expected to lift September targets by about 188,000 barrels per day, but then pause further hikes. General crypto market. You guys know the prices. Let's get to the next section. Last completed Bitcoin ETFs, which was Friday. Let's see what happened Friday. About $265.4 million net outflow. Of course, we had inflows the day before. I covered this yesterday. Since today is Sunday, I did cover this Saturday, but let's keep going. There's plenty more to get to. We did cover the Cold Card hardware wallet entropy flaw, which was weak seed generation path dating to March 2021. Dating back to March 2021, they were generating weak seeds since then. Wow. Remains the lead crypto story. Losses now tallied to 70 to $89 million across thousands of addresses. Oh my God. Insane. This company, Cold Card, has done some damage with their weak seed generation path. Wow. I've been reading about this in the intel reports. I never even heard of them before this week, Cold Card. But 70 to $89 million drained. Oh my God. Stay safe out there. Stay sane. Bitcoin mining difficulty is about 14% off. No, off of this year's week high. Or this year's high. As weak miners economics, the miners economics force capacity off. Yeah, we've seen a lot of the miners switching to AI compute, swapping out the workloads on these GPUs. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. XRPL and Stellar ledgers looked operationally normal. Key Rails accounts are quiet on X though. Overall price holds. Trust in one hardware line does not. Consider separate vendor entropy failure from base layer integrity. Yeah, separate the entities that are building wallets on top of these chains from the actual chains themselves. You know, you're still trusting an entity when you're trusting a hardware wallet. Traditional finance and crypto convergence. Bitmine immersion, which is the Ether treasury vehicle chaired by Tom Lee, they lifted their holdings to about 5.74 million Ethereum, roughly 4.8% of the circulating supply. Tokenized stock and ETF trading hit a record about $11.3 billion in July. It's up about 288%. Wow. But one Binance QQQ linked token, QQQB, drove most of it with 9.27 billion. Strip that name in July was about 2.03 billion, or roughly 30% below June. Headline volume is incentive theater. The rail still matters. QQQB driving the tokenized stocks and ETF trading. Interesting. Okay, Strategy held the STRC preferred dividend at 12% rather than lifting it despite the below par tape. Capital structure discipline over reflexive yield bump. We've also got Trump Media moved another 2,628 Bitcoin. Their holdings are reportedly down to about 4,261 Bitcoin. We've got EDX Markets closed a $76 million Series C. eToro took a strategic stake in on-chain derivatives venue Extended. And crypto perp venues keep pushing 24/7 clock and commodity exposure the other direction across the bridge. The future is here, guys, with tokenizing everything. It's 24/7 is where we're going. T+0 instant settlement. Regulatory developments. The SEC froze and will reconsider NASDAQ's approval of a cash-settled Bitcoin index options after the CME's challenged, arguing that the commodity options sit with the CFTC, not the SEC. They're still fighting over this stuff, guys. Fighting for jurisdiction. Approval stays suspended. Comment window runs to the 24th of August. Venue jurisdiction fight is a real product story. We've got Minnesota crypto ATM ban took effect after officials cited about $1 million in kiosk-linked scam losses. Oh, that's awful. Mainly on the senior citizens, of course, is what it says. From 2023 to 2025, consumer protection state action, while federal market structure still stalls. Russia extended a crypto mining ban across the Moscow region through 2032 on power grid grounds. They are restricting mining till 2032. South Korea confirmed a 22% crypto tax framework from 2027. An Iranian-linked exchange network was reportedly sending about $676 million to Binance inside a broader multi-billion sanctions evasion allegation stack. Compliance heat on large venues stays structural. Yeah, there's a big deal going on with the Iranian passage. They're taking Bitcoin. Not to go in and out of the strait, I don't think, but the insurance companies that are popping up and covering these vehicles with Bitcoin and other crypto. As payments, Okay, RWA and DeFi tokenization. SummerFi said it will wind down after 7 years, exciting a exploit. Another access layer exit that reminds users interface risk compounds smart contract risk. It sure does. Interface risk. SummerFi is down. No more. Bank of Italy research argued stablecoin remittance paths are often no cheaper than traditional rails on exchange fees. FX spreads and banking off-ramps are counted. Challenge the stablecoins always win remittances slogan with all-in cost math. They are arguing that stablecoin remittance paths are often no cheaper. I don't know about that. AI and blockchain. We've got the more Americans say they know about AI, the less they like it. Job losses and business use worry rising. Adoption curves can get ahead of social license. Yeah, we've come a long way in AI. It is not, I don't think it's where that people thought it would be, replacing the jobs that they thought it would. You know, I've used it to try to build my Linux server for my AI agent past couple of months. And, you know, it's not, I'm using a couple different frontier models, but it's not working like perfectly. So I have to really use discernment and remind it, you know, what we're doing and challenge it. And it's been wrong several times. I've copy pasted from one AI to another to say, hey, what do you think about what Grok's saying, or, you know, or vice versa. And it's a long way to go, really. I mean, it's helpful for quick this and that, but we'll see. You know, I don't think the bubble, I think the bubble that's there is too big. It's too much, too fast, and it's probably going to pop. That's just what MrConectr says. No financial advice, but I try to use that stuff for the good of humanity. Try to counterbalance any bad for any good we can do. We've got OpenAI and Anthropic clashed in Washington, facing safety regulation framing. Policy competition between labs is now product surface, not just a research blog war. And DeepMind's Gemini Robotics 2 push, which is shared brain swappable robot bodies, keeps agentic hardware race hot. Blockchain angle stays secondary until the agent wallets and settlement rails ship with real controls. Hope you guys are enjoying the market intel report. I've set up my agent to go out and research different venues, different markets, different sources, all kinds of different sources, and summarize and compact it into this market intel report for us. And I'm just kind of reading off of it and putting my spill on it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Let's keep going. And I'll get my format figured. I know I switch it up with the backdrop, and all the different changes I have fun playing with. Let's cover prediction markets. Clarity Act signed into law is now down to 28%. It was at what, 32 yesterday, I think 30. Yes, on roughly $3.7 million in volume. So $3.7 million are up on the Clarity Act vote, or being posted. So it's got that much money just betting on the passage. Odds lag bullish. Social hopium. Senate calendar risk is priced better than timelines on crypto Twitter. Something's got to happen this week before they go into recess. So you never know. Maybe we'll get a good week. Let's hope for the best. We've been waiting for a while for this molasses jar to empty out, to turn over and empty out. Let's get going. Mainstream coverage highlighted the full-time prediction market traders using speed bots and information edges beyond raw odd screens. So yeah, that's one I'd hope to maybe try to get my agent in on some of this prediction stuff. You know, they're even building like weather bots to predict the weather and betting on the weather. That is wild. But yeah, the speed bots. Yeah, if you haven't done predictions, you know, I can see how an agent could analyze the entire platform and go out and time all the markets. You know, there's even like 5-minute, or no, is it hour markets? How low do they go? Did they go down to 5 minutes? I don't know. I don't think they can do that. But say they have a market prediction market close on the price of Bitcoin hourly. You know, that's it's pretty wild when you can get a bot that can pinpoint it and make that bet right before the cutoff time. You know, on several markets at once every single day. You know, there's a lot that these agents can get into. That's why I'm trying to get into it, and I'll let you guys know how it's going. Still building it though, still setting it up, getting my built local models, but it's turning into, my goal was privacy first. Build your own local LLM. That way you can stay private. You don't have to pay the fees. It's free. Well, when you actually start building a major system, you're going to need to spend, oh my goodness, you're going to have to spend a lot more money to buy the very high priced GPUs right now to be able to run these local models. So what I'm doing, my local model is, I don't know, I'm getting off track here, is running the compression. That's what I'm using it for. Now I've found the best use case for it. I believe it's to compress once you put a prompt in, whether it's an agent to agent communication or a pre-compression before the tokens actually get processed. I think I can save 90% is what it's saying on pre-compressing with local AI. I don't know, that's getting kind of complicated, but that's what I'm interested in, that stuff right now. Risk opportunity analysis. What are the risks? We went through the cold card exploit. We're going to watch Bitcoin outflows. That was pretty risky Friday. Iran, the pause for the rapid deal. Clarity stalled into recess with low sign in 2026 odds. So maybe we'll get a miracle, guys. Pray for a miracle for this clarity I had to get done this week. That's a big deal. Opportunities. Corporate Ether Treasury bid is a clean structural demand signal. Yep. With Tom Lee going in on Ethereum for Bitmine. Tokenization and reverse perp bridges keep building even when one incentive-driven ticker distorts volume. Watch the quality open interest and real settlement, not just July's QQQB mirage. Bitcoin holding 60,000 into a quiet weekend, and after forced security flows and month-end redemptions show absorption capacity if the jobs Fed path does not hawk shock. Yeah, I'm starting to notice, every single end of the month, it seems like there's outflows in Bitcoin ETFs. Price dips a little bit. So I've had a good source for these ETF flows. You can see each day up and down, in and out, and then the price related to that. Recommendations. Short term, 1 to 4 weeks. Track the cold card forensics. Watch the next completed US Bitcoin ETF season after Friday's two-day outflow. So that's what these big hedge funds are doing with these ETFs. They watch these outflows, and of course they're going to go all in on Monday. Watch, Monday will be a good ETF day. 2 days of outflows. It's time to put it back in, Anything else? Midterm. We've got mapped the SEC consideration of NASDAQ, the turf lines, the reconsideration of NASDAQ QBTC and CFTC turf lines, options venue design is a rails fight with lasting market structure effects. Map the reconsideration of NASDAQ's QBTC, a reconsideration from SEC.
How the books and records are kept. How the books and records are kept. It's just an accounting ledger.
Let's see if I can find an article on that.
It's just an accounting.
The SEC has paused its and is re-reviewing its May 2026 conditional approval for NASDAQ PHLX cash settled Bitcoin index options QBTC cash settled I can't read Bitcoin index options after CME Group filed a legal challenge asserting the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has exclusive jurisdiction over the commodity linked derivative. Okay, they're fighting over that derivative classification.
I want to invest in something because how the books and records are kept. It's almost immutable.
Follow Bitmine and Pure Ethereum Treasury, separate tokenized equity incentive volume from multi-issue or multi-venue depth when sizing RWA equity narrative. Okay, long-term market structure statute, the clarity path remains the U.S. regime hinge. Low near-term odds do not kill 27 designed work. Watch bipartisan staff text, not only floor theater. So keep an eye on what the staff are texting about this clarity bill coming out this week, which it should be interesting. They're going to make a push for it. We'll see if they get a floor vote. And don't forget that, there's a couple. We've got McConnell's missing, or whatever's happening with him. I think Rand Paul's still a no, which is surprisingly. I always thought Paul was kind of like a libertarian against the Federal Reserve, but who knows? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? Risk warnings. Geopolitical de-escalation language can reverse inside news cycles. So yeah, reason why I include all this geopolitical into the market intel is, if something changes, it's moving, guys. Every time we get peace, it seems like we get a little action, a little price action. So and I believe that will do it for Sunday, the 2nd of August. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is not financial advice. This has been your daily market intel report for August 2nd, 2026. MrConectr out. Peace.